I got a call on Monday with a stewardess chick, red dress type thick. I'm having back-to-back trips. Like I'm playing professionally. So I go to the interview. I drive back to the airport. Audience, I'm Yo Sylvie Q, Earthquake, a new day, fresh blessing of life, carefree. Welcome all family, friends, new subscribers to my channel. So this was a 2-day trip. I set up 2 different type of interviews in 2 different states. One was Texas, and the second trip happened, we'll just say bright and early on Monday when I was sleeping. What woke me out of my sleep was a phone call. They said, okay, we are interested in your application and when is the best time for you to show up at Greensboro, which is in North Carolina, about an hour and a half away from Charlotte. And I told them I lived in Queens, so I have to book that flight. I'm having back-to-back trips. Like I'm playing professionally. I gotta stay sharp on all these different type of trips. I told a couple of stories in the past, but now it's the time to bring them together. This time I wanted to go to both trips JFK, because JFK is right down the road. If you guys can hear in the background, there's planes flying by every so often, which is one of the busiest airports in the US/the world. So it'll be easier for my family, for my dad or mom to pick me up and drop me off. I was a little bit tired of American, but I'm gonna get back to American because this time I went to Delta. JFK, you have the usual setup. So as I arrived there, the first flight that I see, they're already boarding and already going on their flight, was Phoenix. And it brought back so many memories. Visiting time in the valley, hanging out with friends, going out, having a great time. We have a view of outside, and we are off to Dallas. Now, since it's the morning time, I get my usual cranberry ice cookie combination. We're gonna take a picture or video of this simulation of the plane route. So as you can see, it's gonna be 3 hours, and we passed through all these different cities that I visited before, such as Nashville. Nashville all started this off. Go flying for an interview and fly right back the same day. I don't stay in any hotel because I'm not there for pleasures, I'm there for business. When I went to Nashville and I didn't get that job, I guess it's full circle. A few minutes later, right down the road is Memphis, which is really 3 hours away. We have Beale Street, downtown area, and you have the Memphis Grizzlies. So as I'm getting myself situated, I'm gonna have to remix a little bit. Early morning flights, I pick cranberry drink with a stewardess chick, red dress type thick. Lady is legitimately impressive, aka Lily. So as we land in DWF, you have Six Flags, and it was right around this area. We have the Baymont Hotel where I spent one of my last nights. Going to Phoenix, which was sincerely Selena. This thing is really like full circle. So I go to the interview, I drive back to the airport, DFW. I'm gonna go in American. We're flying back to LaGuardia, which is about 20 minutes away from JFK. So we get on the flight. Now that the morning has passed by, we have the ginger ale and the cookies, and we chilling there. We get back about 10 o'clock. My mom picks me up. You see the scene of New York City. So as we arrive, we seen this in Gems and Dessert. We're gonna call her Miss Cascade. She was sleeping for the night, Don't worry, baby. I'm gonna be back later. I'll see you when you drip. Wake up the next morning. And the thing about this was, since it was the last minute flight, I was trying to find good connecting flights. We go roll up in JFK. We got the Apple sign, the Big Apple. And my flight itinerary was fly from JFK to from JFK to Charlotte, 1 hour layover, and then to Greensboro. So as you can see on the screen, I was supposed to leave at 6 o'clock. It got delayed 2 p.m. because of maintenance issue. And that happened when I arrived at the gate. So I had to call my dad, and I went to the customer service to get that situated. The next flight was about 9 o'clock, but that one was booked because I was the 7th person in line. So I had to go all the way to LaGuardia, about 20 minutes. I arrived in LaGuardia. Usually people check your plane ticket. No, in order for you to pass through the little gate, you have to scan your paper ticket, or if it was on your phone and the gates opened up green. I thought that was a little bit cool and innovative. So passing through security, making sure that I'm really silver EQ. You have the metal detectors, but usually with the metal detectors, you'll have to stand in a chamber, put your hands up like this for about 3 seconds, and then they'll check you. But this one, at LaGuardia, you just stand posted up like you some hitman. So I go to the gate, and this one was gonna get me from LaGuardia all the way to Greensboro, which was where my interview was at, and it'll be 2 hours. So I arrived there at Greensboro. I was there. First time I went to Greensboro was the first time I met Rena. And I may have not animated that part of the story, but it was the same time/trip when I went to Follies the night before. Blue cousin Wiz, which was my brother, and I was lap dancing with 2 strippers. It was an awful night because I got in my feelings. That's the long and short of it. And the day after that, that's when I met Rena for the first time and we hung out. So this time, it's not like I went to the club the night before. It was just I flew in late and I was flying for 6 hours. So I'm not at 100%. And as I was walking out, but as we take a look at the outside, it was looking like some mall parking lot and not an airport that people pick people up in. When I arrived at LaGuardia, I say good morning to Miss Cascade if we didn't check our flight ticket. So then I was talking to my dad, and me and him agreed that I should go visit Uncle Frost because I haven't seen him in about 10 years. I haven't visited his place in 10 years. We were like, all right, bet. Booked the flight for 6 o'clock. I decided to change my ticket because it went from Greensboro, which was low-key dead, to DCA, which was Washington, D.C., Reagan Airport. A layover for 3 hours, and then arrive at 9:15 at JFK. At Charlotte, and then going straight flight to JFK. Spend time with Luna, and that was the first time in about 10 years that I visited the house. The house changed a little bit. That time she was annoying, but this time we were real laid back and real cool. It was a cool time. Can't complain, it was cool. So fast forward, I told Uncle Frost, listen, I got 50 minutes to get to the airport. He's like, all right, bet. I get to the airport. We see the picture of the American airline, which was going to be a straight flight, 2 hours. And I get on the plane. I see another Lily. 3 of them. According to Jay, I get frequent flyer mileage from a stewardess chick. She looking right in that tight blue dress. She thick. It was just that you at work and I was getting back home, and those two didn't really match up. So I didn't want to create a situationship. Anyway, we know what we getting. Ginger ale, ice. This time I got pretzels. It's later on in the flight. So when I get back to JFK, we land safely. So audience, I want to thank you for watching. This is the BS the Backstory to my family, friends, new subscribers. I know you out there. Walk easy. Committed 2 times suicide runs. More I do it, the more less fun. Hopefully this trip can be the one. On my way home, if you gotta know, thinking about the days, traveling for months. Eventually in my spirit, I'll get a hunch. You searching over and over, number crunch, the books, the artifacts, the sum.